Hello and Namaste. Welcome to this course on 3D animation using Blender. As you all know, this is a skill development course and we will be taking you through various stages of how to create 3D animation using this open source tool called Blender in coming 6 weeks. I welcome these people who have taken this course and especially those who have been with us for the week before today where we had put up a small activity. I would like to share that there has been good response to that activity and we would be sharing some of the interesting uploads done by the students. I am sure people who have joined in today would be excited to have a look at it. At this point, in the interest of getting everybody at a particular level, I would strongly suggest that people who have joined today should go and take up a look at the lectures which we have uploaded. There is a very small lecture of like 5-6 minutes followed by a activity. We have kept the activity submission link open right now and it will be open for 1 week more for the benefit of those who would like to take that chance to upload their assignments. This is a small 3D visualization activity and I am sure you would like it. Coming back to the course, so today we start off a journey of 6 weeks in which we will cover various aspects of 3D animation. Why 3D animation? And I am sure you are working in this domain or you have a strong liking in this domain, that is why you are here. But just to give you a kind of a background in this, 3D animation is emerging really fast right now and this is emerging in two kind of different domains. They are not connected to each other, but it is a fact that they are emerging very rapidly in this. One of them is obviously entertainment, where you find lot of animation, TV serials, movies and even advertisement. So these are the major markets in which animation is used and consumed very heavily. So there is a need of talent in these areas. On the other side, education is a big sector which is emerging as a kind of a big user of this medium called animation. Lot of simulations and interactive uh, games are being built up using animation and are becoming more and more popular as the consumers, which are the students, find it more engaging and more interesting rather than a textbook or attending or looking at notes. So we see a big jump in the requirement in coming years and a couple of government agencies have also endorsed this as one of the emerging domains. However, the point lies at the very juncture where how to get education and access to animation. So education is to be imparted at a cost which is affordable to all. Unfortunately, for animation software, the price of software itself is so high that people cannot afford it. It gives birth to piracy. So people who cannot afford this software but still want to learn try to pirate the software and use it illegally, which is also wrong. If you want to get good quality education of that animation software, even that is costly because the training institutes charge heavily for imparting this education. In this scenario, it is a definite need that the students get access to quality education in terms of animation, at the same time get access to a software which is open source or free to use. Keeping this need in mind, IIT Bombay, who has developed IIT Bombay X, which is based on the OpenEDX platform, has come up with this course. And we have chosen Blender, which is an open source 3D animation platform, to run this particular course and impart the skill required for creating 3D animation for the people who want to have this as a big career option. So I hope that this will be an interesting course for you all. Let's go ahead and see what are we going to achieve by taking this course. What we plan to do, as I mentioned earlier and I repeat, that this is a basic course. That is why you see that this particular course is titled as 101. So this is a basic course in animation. So 6 weeks is a very short duration program, and in which we will definitely tell you how to interact with the software, how can you add, delete, modify certain objects, which will be basic shapes. You can't create maybe complicated objects, but yes, you can create some basic shapes. You can use basic shapes, you can move them around, you can modify them. You can also do something very interesting like applying materials and textures to these objects so that they look realistic. This is possible and we will show you how. We will also show you how to add some lights so that they look very natural and the output looks almost like real. But the final objective is to make a small little animation all on your own after the end of this course. That is the definite objective we have, and this animation will be kind of a small little window for you to enter in this world of Blender, and then you can take further courses which we are going to offer in this series, or you can also explore on your own. Actually, people who are enthusiastic enough can also try doing it on their own, but we would be definitely offering some more courses in this direction. When we know what is going to be covered in this course, it is also interesting to know and needed to know what is not going to be covered in this course. I already mentioned this is a primary course, therefore we are not going to take up some of the advanced features of the software. We are not going to do some advanced modeling of some complex objects, but we are going to restrict ourselves in this course to very basic shapes. Obviously, we are also not going to touch on the character animation, which is a huge area and which is required, but we are not going to touch this in this particular course. We are going to restrict ourselves to basic shapes and basic animation of this shape. So we are going to take up other things in the subsequent courses. How are we going to get this thing? For the coming 6 weeks, here is the plan. We will start with very basic information about how to install Blender on the computers, what are the different system requirements, what should be the hardware configuration and the software configuration in order to install Blender, so that you all get accustomed to installing Blender yourself first of all. We will be taking you through the basic interface of Blender in the subsequent week. In this week number 2, we will be showing you how to interact with Blender, what are the basic keyboard shortcuts and the mouse movement you have to do in order to interact with Blender, move objects, add new objects, delete some of the objects, and so on and so forth. In the 3rd week, we would be talking about some basic animations, where we can show you how to move object, how to place some important keyframes, and then how to render that in order to get a small little video clip. In the 4th week is the point where we start slight upgrade of what you have done already. We will show you how you can change the models by adding couple of additional geometry to it. You can also apply some textures, you can apply some materials on top of it, and then it will look more realistic. We will add some of the lights in the week number 5 and show how it looks more realistic because of the added light and the shadows which are created automatically, and then various options of rendering those videos. Once we are up to that point, we enter the 6th week, which is dedicated for a mini project. Mini project is based on all the activities you have learned so far and apply them to make your own small little video clip. In all these stages, it is important that we would be giving you enough material in order to be able to perform these activities. What is that material? We have planned for detailed, slow paced video lectures showing you screen captures of how you have to deal with the software, how to add, delete, or whatever actions you have to done or perform in Blender. We will be showing you a screen capture along with a lecture going on in the background for all these steps. So video lectures become a big component of this course. These are slow paced, as I mentioned earlier, and they will show all the steps followed in that. But apart from that, After you watch the lecture, you can also download a PDF file which will have a textual and a visual representation of the steps taken. So, you can download that PDF file, keep it with yourself and try to learn from that PDF file or a document in case you want to learn more about it or replicate it at your home again. We will have a component for assessment also in form of quizzes and some open-ended questions, and these will be basically helping you to know where you stand after taking some of the lectures. What is the level of assistance offered? We would be definitely having a very vibrant discussion forum. We have a team of around 25 to 50 volunteers available all the time in order to answer your queries. So, keep posting on discussion forums for any type of queries you have. In addition, we will share some of the links for tutorials on various topics which are associated with the topics we are talking about from time to time on our discussion forums as well as from our resources tab. So, you can visit those pages and have a look at that content which will help you understand more about either Blender or even animation in general. So, that is definitely going to be part of the offering. At this point, I would like to introduce the co-instructors of this course. Sneha Sanglikar is a fine arts graduate and also a trained art teacher. She has been working on Blender for over 5 years now, and she was a part of the team which has created complicated animations and simulations which are used currently in IIT Bombay courses. She would be concentrating mostly on the animation part of Blender and telling us about how to do it stepwise. Nitin Iyer comes from a technical background. He has been a Blender user since 7 years now and has been a very successful instructor in most of the Blender workshops conducted by IIT Bombay. He will focus mostly on the technical details within modeling, texturing, lighting and other aspects in Blender. Kaumudi Sahasrabuddhe is a fine arts graduate and also a trained cell animator. She has more than 16 years of experience in the areas of illustrations and animations. She would be talking to us about the principles of animations which are very useful when we create any animation in Blender. So, with these people I look forward to interacting with you from today onwards, and the subsequent lectures will show you various stages of Blender animation. So, thank you for joining. I welcome you again and see you with the set of activities and lectures which is coming up this week. Thank you.